been hacked. You lost your passwords, your login information, your accounts, your money, your credit cards, your social security number, and most importantly, your identity. In this digital age, cybersecurity is extremely important and has affected many people, from teenagers to adults of all ages. We experienced cybersecurity threats personally last year, as both of these images came directly from my Instagram account. It tries to get the user to click on the virus-ridden link by giving a sense of urgency or eagerness, and it takes over the account that clicked on it and sends the same message to your followers. This even got Gary to forward it to Mr. Obama. Although this example is not as wide-scale, it is still a loss of your accounts and your private information, which can be used to infiltrate other accounts such as your emails or bank account, especially if passwords are reused, and this results in larger issues. My name is Amanda Chang.
My name is Gary Stamen.
My name is Elizabeth Schwartz.
And our study is the effects of cyber safety education on cybersecurity knowledge and digital behaviors. So, what is digital literacy? It is defined as the ability to successfully navigate digital devices and applications by using both cognitive and social emotional skills. A previous study conducted that passwords with significant personal details were easier to remember but less secure, whereas passwords without were harder to recall the exact combination. Through previous studies we looked at, we noticed that there's a tremendous misunderstanding of public Wi-Fi, VPN protection, cybersecurity threats, password protection, two-step verification, and phishing, which is a type of hacking that relies on email recipients to click on a virus-ridden link. This is a phishing email as the Bank of America, and it misleads users to sign in or click on their links, which sends the personal information of the user. Phishing strategies include altering the URL or email address, and it does appear unnoticeable to unaware recipients that are not educated on cybersecurity. This example can happen for any websites and any accounts, so it is why cybersecurity is so important to all internet users. Our research question is, to what extent are high school students digitally literate and using the internet securely? We also analyzed how education on internet safety affects their knowledge of cybersecurity. We hypothesized that if there is an increase in the education on cybersecurity, then students will be more aware to make informed decisions when interacting online. Thus, educating students on protecting their devices, private information, and money online can improve their quality of life. Our experiment begins with consent and assent forms, and we only use the data if the participant returned a signed form. Prior to our experiment, we invited cyber intelligence expert Mr. Richard Zafrani to speak with us on cyber safety. He reviewed our surveys and experiment procedures and provided us with helpful feedback, as well as share his own personal experience with cybersecurity issues. We designed a 15-question survey on the general knowledge and behaviors of the participants in 9 freshman classes. 4 classes were from a STEM course and 5 classes were from a TV studio course. We chose the freshman classes because they had the least exposure to cybersecurity, since some upperclassmen can take the electronics course taught by our mentor and local cybersecurity expert, Dr. Fushi, which can include some topics of cybersecurity. However, not many students take these courses, and not many schools offer education on cybersecurity, so there is a limitation to students that are digitally literate. We are unable to obtain our post-survey data due to the school closing. We hope to examine any changes in the students' digital habits by indicating they have adapted cyber safety precautions. However, we were still able to use the data that we collected to show a statistically significant change in the students' understanding of cybersecurity and an important need for cyber safety education. Here we designed a pre-test and post-test, which contains the same questions and consisted of cyber safety terms and knowledge-based questions. On the next slide, we designed a cybersecurity seminar presentation in those 4 STEM classes. The topics we covered were phishing, public Wi-Fi and public devices, and password protection. We included an interactive simulation on phishing, where students identified issues with the image provided. Several feedbacks we received were that our presentation was very engaging and they wanted to continue to identify more examples of unsafe online use and other forms of phishing. The image as shown as on this slide shows the information on cybersecurity, and the next slide shows some of the examples of the phishing simulation we used.
So in terms of our statistical analysis, how we went about analyzing our data, we converted each answer on the pre-survey, the pre-test, and the post-test into a numerical value, and then used these values for our statistical analysis. So the following slides are several questions from our pre-survey. These questions show the general trends in our data. For the first question on the left, how many unique passwords do you use? We defined unique passwords as any password with different capitalization, letters, numbers, or special characters. The average for this data set was 3 to 4 unique passwords with a general skew to the right. This means that students were more likely to reuse their passwords as opposed to make new ones for new websites. For the next question, would you use a public Wi-Fi network at? We gave students a variety of options for different locations where they could use a public Wi-Fi network, and we then asked them to rate their comfort in using said public Wi-Fi networks. We offered them the choices of hotels, public libraries, restaurants, schools, and airports. Of these options, students were most comfortable with schools, which makes sense as an academic setting, makes students more trusting. As a whole, however, these percentages are very high. In our presentation, we highlighted the fact that using a public Wi-Fi network is dangerous because it's a lot easier to be hacked over these networks. So we need post-survey data to conclude if these percentages were to go down as a result of our seminar. This question refers to an earlier anecdote that Amanda and I shared with an Instagram phishing message that hacks your account. Of the people who have Instagram accounts who we surveyed, 45% said that yes, indeed, they did encounter this phishing message. This shows that phishing as a whole is not limited to just emails or phone calls as they were in the past, but is also ingrained as some of our most popular types of social media. Now, in terms of the pre and post tests, we established a passing grade of 60% based on prior data. In our pre-test, which was given directly before our seminar, only 25% of the people we surveyed actually passed the test, with the average score being a 40%. For the post-test, however, which was given after the presentation, the average score rose from a 40% to almost a 90%, with no one failing the test. To show if this was statistically significant, we did a paired t-test, which came back with significant data, which shows that our presentation was effective in teaching these students cybersecurity knowledge and was also effective in ingraining this knowledge into their behaviors. Based on this data, we found it as our general goal for our recommendations and implementations to raise awareness and educate students on how to keep their information safe and private online. We wanted to do this with a variety of factors, including but not limited to expanding the curriculum that's already established in our school, working with other corporations and organizations, and including their cybersecurity data into our curriculum, and to provide an online database to allow students to learn about cybersecurity behaviors whenever they please.
Based on the statistical significance of our data, we were able to implement and are planning to implement a digital curriculum resources that educate high school students about cybersecurity. In fact, we contacted the Public Cybersecurity Initiative, NYC Secure, to request that their cyber safety software be integrated into our high school. Additionally, we partnered with the National Cyber Safety Alliance's C-SAFE initiative, a K-12 cyber safety educational program, to request resources to design our own digital literacy classes and invite a guest speaker to speak about the importance of cybersecurity. On a more local level, we incorporated cybersecurity games such as the University of Texas's phishing simulation and PBS Online Cybersecurity Lab during our school's Virtual Spirit Week, a series of fun online activities that can be replicated by other schools. These interactive, engaging games tested skills such as social engineering, coding, and password cracking, and was approved by our mentor, Dr. Frushi. Additionally, we later uploaded these resources as well as links to other academic websites, videos, and cybersecurity courses on our school library's LibGuide page to be accessible to all students and staff. In fact, we even uploaded a digital copy of the FTC's information on digital literacy from a financial perspective. As you can see, Amanda is holding a brochure from the FTC containing the information on our website, which we then included as we were unable to physically distribute it due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Furthermore, we emailed our principal with a copy of our cybersecurity seminar and requested that it be integrated into digital literacy classes throughout the year, as well as an annual presentation. Our principal approved our request and agreed to have a single digital literacy class in the fall in Ms. Fitzpatrick's Intro to Career and Development class, a mandatory class for all freshmen, enabling us to have a long-lasting impact on all students in the school and ensuring that the presentation and our information about cybersecurity is sustainable now and in the future. Given the nature of our project, this project had minimal financial implications as brochures, cybersecurity resources, and phishing simulations were all free or paid for by a grant from the NYC DOE. In conclusion, we found that initially students did not have enough digital literacy knowledge or cybersecurity knowledge. However, the statistical significance of our pre- and post-survey data confirmed that educational programs can improve students' ability to safely navigate the internet by a significant amount. With resources from Dr. Frushi, the National Cyber Safety Alliance, and our own cybersecurity seminar, we can equip students with lifelong skills to protect their privacy. After all, as Nelson Mandela believed, when we invest public effort and resources into our children's safety, in this case, cyber safety, we can ensure that they are not victims or a statistic of cyber attacks, but rather savvy, well-informed internet users. Thank you.